In this 4-part video series, I'm going on an epic road trip across the southwest of England. I'll be showing you all the best locations across Cornwall, Devon, Somerset and Dorset, and giving you some practical tips along the way.
Geography teacher's wet dream, this.
So, if you love road trips, stunning natural scenery, and maybe even some local delicacies,
That pasty is as big as my head.
then this is the video for you.
Honestly, I can't tell you how genuinely happy I am to be here right now.
Hello, by the way, if you're new here, my name's Robbie Who. I make no-fuss travel guides and tip videos here on YouTube. So if you're one of the 94% of people that watch my videos but don't subscribe, please quickly do me a massive favour and hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. Now it's time to grab your popcorn, get a notepad and a pen, and enjoy. This is Road Trip Southwest.
I literally cannot believe what's just happened. Come on!
Coming up in episode 2, I continue my road trip exploring the incredible coastline of North Devon and North Cornwall and show you exactly why you must visit these two locations.
I mean, if this isn't Cornwall at its very best, then I genuinely don't know what is. Absolutely stunning.
And we see some jaw-dropping natural landmarks, explore some of Cornwall's history, and of course the most important bit, sample some of Devon and Cornwall's best food and drink.
Thank you for joining me and welcome to this second part of my Road Trip Southwest series. Now I am stood in North Devon in the beautiful town of Lynmouth, which is this absolutely quaint, charming place right on the sea. Behind me is the Lynton and Lynmouth Cliff Railway, which me and Arch are just about to go on. And yeah, fabulous way to start this trip. Welcome to North Devon. Sun's shining. Like my mate Ryan says, the sun always shines on the righteous. Anyway, let's go.
The Lynton and Lynmouth Cliff Railway is the highest and steepest water-powered cliff railway anywhere in the world. It offers spectacular views over the surrounding bays and is a must-do if you're in this part of North Devon.
So we've just took the Lynton and Lynmouth Railway coming up the mountain. At the top of the railway is the village of Lynton, which you can see behind me. Real picturesque place. There's loads of little independent shops, cafes. A real nice way to spend a morning or an afternoon, to be honest. So I've made the short drive round from Lynmouth and Lynton, and I'm now at Valley of Rocks, which quite frankly is incredible. It's just this big open valley. On the right hand side you've got huge cliffs overlooking the sea. Got these unusual like rock formations in the valley. And it's funny, there's these like wild goats that are just kind of roaming around and you'll hear them every so often. Come down to this section, there's a couple of benches that overlook the sea. I'm going to plonk my arse on there, fly my drone and show you what this magical place is all about. I'm actually lost for words, to be honest. Don't want to go all cliche on you, but you know, just sitting here, you can hear the sea below, just so calm and peaceful. And looking out at this just incredible, like out of this world view, it really is. It's just amazing. I can't tell you how genuinely happy I am to be here right now. Good morning, we're on our second day of this North Devon adventure, and the reason I've got my hat on is because my hair's a right mess. I haven't had a shower this morning and I probably look a bit tired. This morning we've made the trip from Lynton, Valley of Rocks, and we're now at Heddon Valley, which is a National Trust car park, so if you've got membership it's free to park. Me and the dogs are going to make the easy walk down to Heddon's mouth, which is a really cool opening in between the valley. It's a 2-mile round trip. It says it should take about an hour, so nice way to start the day.
The gentle walk down to Heddon's mouth was a great way to start the day. The spectacular rugged coastline is a feature of North Devon and can be really admired at the nearby village of Combe Martin, a hotbed for water sports and paddleboarding.
So I've been making a short drive from Combe Martin round to Ilfracombe. It's only about 5 miles, something like that. And I've pulled in at this viewpoint. I didn't mean to, it just draws you in. Similar to Combe Martin, there's just this dramatic sort of coastline, rugged cliffs, beautiful blue sea, and this part of North Devon has got so much of this going on. And honestly, it makes for such a good photo. I absolutely love this kind of place. So we've just arrived at Ilfracombe. There's a lovely harbour, and around that there's a number of quirky little independent shops, loads of little cafes. There's people sat outside. It's obviously a nice day, having some Devon cream teas. To be honest, if you're doing a road trip and you're passing through North Devon, you'd be foolish not to call in at Ilfracombe. 100%, even just for an afternoon, couple of hours, you'll see exactly the reasons why when you come.
Ilfracombe is also home to the historic Tunnels beaches. The tunnels were carved out in the 1820s as a way to segregate men and women on their way to the beach.
I'm quite excited. We've just arrived in Woolacombe, which is another really nice seaside town in North Devon. It's got a 3-mile long award-winning beach. So in this part of Devon, you're absolutely spoilt for beaches. So you've got Woolacombe here, which is 3 miles long. You've then got Croyde around the corner, which is one of the best spots for surfing. And then around the corner from that, you've got Saunton Sands, another really long sandy beach. What do you think of these Bobby Dazzlers? They're a little bit big, but they were 20 quid from the shop in Woolacombe. I think the first time I felt some vitamin D going into my body all year. We're going to get back on the road. We're going to head around to Croyde. We're now at Baggy Point at the National Trust car park. A couple of things that I'll add actually. One, the driving in North Devon particularly can be quite difficult, especially if you're in like a larger camper van or motorhome. Just lots of single track roads, and there isn't as many passing places as there probably should be. A few close calls, so just bear that in mind. And number two, I've just saved 7 quid to park here because my National Trust membership that I keep going on about, and I'm not sponsored by them. Just something to bear in mind, especially down the southwest. There is a lot of National Trust places that you can get access to. Now we're going to go and check out Croyde Beach, which is a bit of a surfing hotspot.
The penultimate stop was Braunton Burrows, a UNESCO designated biosphere reserve with scenic dunes, lots of wildlife and an ideal dog walking spot. I then ended the day with a quick visit to Saunton Sands Beach, a surfing paradise where you can hire beach huts for the day and even take surfing lessons. I then headed to the campsite and called it a night.
So today we're going to head straight down to Clovelly, which is a place that I've read a lot about but never been to. On the way down there's multiple places. Anyone in Devon will probably be screaming at me, why didn't you go to places such as Instow Beach, Westwood Ho Beach, etc, etc. Now in this video I'm not going to cover absolutely everywhere, but in my new Road Trip Southwest book most of these places are going to be in there. So if you're wondering, that's why. Me and Arch are making our way down these cobbled steps in Clovelly. Although the woman, when I paid for the ticket, which was $8.75 to get in here by the way, called it Clovelly. So I have no idea if I'm saying it right. But, like most things, me trying to pronounce things, especially Scottish and Welsh, just doesn't end up well. Just get a load of stick from people on YouTube.
Clovelly is a picturesque fishing village that was once owned by the Queen. Its unique cobbled streets are filled with colourful cottages leading down to the harbour. This place is hugely popular with foreign tourists who love the uniquely oldie-worldy feel. Along the pebbled beach is a stunning waterfall which I'd highly recommend a visit to.
So I've just come into the tea rooms for a Devon cream tea, and we were having the debate, is it cream or jam first? And apparently the Devon way is cream first and the Cornish way is jam first. Let me know in the comments which way you do it, jam or cream, I don't know. We've made the 20-minute drive to Sandymouth Bay. One important piece of information you should know is we've now crossed over into Cornwall, and why that's important is because, number one, the way that you put your cream and jam has to go in a different order now on your cream teas, and two, in theory, the Cornish pasties should be fresher. Anyway, I'll stop waffling on and we'll go and take a look at this beautiful beach. This beach is pretty spectacular. Geography teacher's wet dream, this. Got all the different types of rock. I'm sure there's some archaeological, geological meaning behind all the different layers of rock. So Mr. Slater, if you're watching, let me know exactly what it is. Great place to bring your kids, loads of rock pools, beautiful sandy beach, and it's quite a nice contrast between, you know, the rough, rugged rocks and the yellowy white sandy beach. Blue sea in the background. Just a shame the weather's not on the side today, because I probably would have spent a bit more time down here. Yeah, all in all, Sandymouth, definitely worth a stop. As you may be able to see behind, it's absolutely miserable. Anyway, I've pulled out a bit of a rainy day special here. We're going to go to the Museum of Witchcraft. I've just come out the Witchcraft and Magic Museum here in Boscastle, and it's quite interesting, to be honest. I couldn't record in there, they don't let you record, but I was proper getting into it, and then right at the exit there's this automatic door, and honestly it made me jump so much. It was quite funny, to be honest. The scariest thing there was the automatic door on the way out. I'm just walking back to the car, got myself a pasty for lunch. Dogs are going to share a sausage roll. There's so many options here for little takeaway bites. Cornish cream teas, almost said Devon. Little chippy, loads of little independent cafes and stuff. So if you do come to Boscastle, make room for some tasty, delicious local stuff. Now, it's safe to say I'm relatively hungry, but I mean, look at the size of this. It's like a slab. It's bigger than my head. That pasty is as big as my head.
I made the short drive to the St Nectan's Glen car park and began the 1 mile walk to the waterfall. This site of special scientific interest is a natural wonder and costs £8 for adults and £4 for children.
So there we have it, St Nectan's waterfall. The walk up here is as beautiful as the waterfalls, to be honest. Definitely caught off guard by having to cross the river in bare feet. The chap said you'd have to cross the river. I just presumed there'd be stepping stones or a bridge or something like that. So yeah, something to bear in mind if you do come here. Bring some wellies or walking boots or something that you don't mind getting wet. You know, I've been really fortunate to see a lot of waterfalls in this country, almost slipped over. And this has to be right up there with one of the most unique ones. Just in terms of the overall experience, the waterfall itself is just beautiful. It reminds me of being back in Bali. It's like a rainforest almost. And that was something I really wasn't expecting. For that reason, I would highly recommend a visit here.
The next stop was Tintagel Castle, just around the corner from St Nectan's Glen. Unfortunately, I arrived too late and the castle was already closed, which turned out to be a blessing, as the rain was horrendous and I was already soaked. I decided to make one last stop for the day at the picturesque fishing village of Port Isaac, the main setting for ITV's comedy drama Doc Martin and the Fisherman's Friends movies.
Right, finally parked up at Port Isaac. There are a number of car parks across Cornwall that I've spotted already that have got big massive signs saying main car park, this is the main car park for XYZ place. And they're just private car parks, they're not the official main council ones, so just bear that in mind, because the one here at Port Isaac is right at the top out of the way, which means you'll have to walk all the way into the village, so just bear that in mind. We were just walking down the main road along the harbour here in Port Isaac, and it's absolutely stunning, you know. The water is like a greeny blue. It's everything that I kind of associate with Cornwall, to be honest. Apart from the bad weather, which completely kicked off. So we did the best thing that anyone could in that situation. Jumped in the nearest pub, which happened to be the Golden Lion Inn. Whilst we were there, we had fish and chips for our dinner, which was delicious. So yeah, I would highly recommend that if you are calling in Port Isaac. So we've had a little break in the rain, the sun's just peeking out, so I couldn't resist calling in at Polzeath Beach, which is literally 15 minutes give or take from Port Isaac. Pulled up on the beach where the car park is. I'm going to quickly fly the drone and show you what this place is all about. Another surfer's paradise, but it's just beautiful. I just love Cornwall so much because of these type of places. Let me show you.
Little did I know, I actually got a parking fine here. There's an ANPR camera that will get you the second you enter the car park, so if you do visit, make sure you get a car parking ticket.
So this morning we find ourselves in Padstow, which is probably in my top 3 places in the whole of Cornwall in terms of, like, you know, seaside towns and villages. Just a place packed full of quirky little shops, pasty shops. There's a real picturesque harbour there, and if the weather's good, it is amazing. So our little walk around Padstow was cut short through a torrential rainstorm, which has now ended and it's bright sunshine. I think it's just going to be one of them days. We called in at the Cornish pasty shop, one of them anyway, and I've got a couple of treats for Jazz, who we're going to be collecting later. So we're going to give her a royal Cornish welcome. But we're going to move on to our next place now, which isn't too far from here. So many nice beaches and bays around here, and that's what we're going to continue to do. Follow the coast around to Trevone Bay. Just had a quick stop at Trevone Bay. Not a place I'm going to spend a lot of time at, but a lot of these places I've never been to before. This place is just beautiful. The thing I love about these Cornish beaches, there's bins everywhere, there's free litter pickers that you can go and do a beach clean up with. They just look after the place. I wish a few more beaches and places around the UK would follow suit, to be honest. So we're just on the way to our next destination, and we've come across Harlyn Beach, which this definitely looks like a place that would be ideal for a beach day. It's a lot deeper and wider. So yeah, I've just sent a text to Jazz saying that I think I want to live in Cornwall. I've said this before about Scotland. There's parts of Wales I've said this about, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I love this idealistic lifestyle that I keep seeing of people going surfing after work, rocking up in their camper vans. There's loads of little cool like cafes and beach bars next to the beaches. Yeah, maybe I could become a surfer. Don't have blonde hair and a 6-pack, and I can't surf, but maybe there's hope for me yet. Tell you what, the scenery around here is just breathtaking. There's a rocky outcrop here called Dean's Head, I think it is, and the contrast of that with the blue turquoise water, it's just amazing. I would highly recommend the stop here. You know, I love places like this that get you a little bit giddy. I know that sounds a bit sad, but it does, like, really enjoy seeing these kind of places. And also what's pretty amazing is the Southwest Coast Path obviously covers all of these incredible locations, so if you are ever lucky enough to be able to walk a section of it, maybe even all of it, you're going to be treated with places like this. So very jealous. Maybe one day I'll walk the whole thing, who knows, doubt it, but would be amazing. So today's North Cornwall tour of coves and bays continues, and we've called in at Treyarnon Bay. And honestly, my vocabulary has just expired. I've got no words to just try and describe this place to you. The videos will help to a degree, but that's it. If only the UK had like 3 guaranteed months of hot weather, you would never ever need to go abroad ever again, because these places are as beautiful as anywhere that I've ever been, 100%. Oh. So you might be able to see I'm sweating. So I've been tidying the van up, ready for Jazz's arrival. We're in St Mawgan, a little village. So the dog's tied up there just while I tidy the van out. We're 10 minutes from the airport, so just getting tidied up here, and then we'll go and grab Jazz, and then our weekend of activities can continue. You might be thinking, like, why didn't Jazz drive down here this weekend? And from where we live in Staffordshire, with bank holiday traffic, you're probably talking 5.5, 6.5 hours, something like that. And for 2 or 3 days, that's a long drive, bearing in mind she's got to go back. I just wanted to test the water with flights down here. Obviously, I know environmentally it's not the best, but the flights aren't too badly priced. So it could be an option if you live in other areas of the UK that do fly down to Newquay. There's a car hire place just around the corner, so you could easily do a road trip flying down here rather than having to drive it yourself. And there are other airports in the southwest, for example Exeter, Bristol, that you could use for servicing your road trip around this incredible destination. All this info is in my book, so yeah. So I'm just tracking Jazz's flight, and she's just north of Padstow where we were this morning. There she is. Who's that? Pint with a view. So we've stopped at Mawgan Porth beach. We went for some food at the Merrymore Inn. They've got a lovely outdoor beer garden, so if you're passing through and it's sunny, great place to stop. Yeah, just having a little walk on the beach. And then we're heading up to the Bedruthan Steps, which is a National Trust car park place just around the corner.
Bedruthan Steps are a must-see North Cornwall landmark. Local legend tells the story of an enormous giant by the name of Bedruthan, who would use the sea stacks as steps as he traversed the Atlantic coast. They make for an incredible photo, so good that I actually used this location on the front cover of my new Road Trip Southwest guidebook. Talking of which, here's a quick advert for my new book.
So, you're going on a road trip to Cornwall, Devon, Somerset or Dorset? Then you definitely need Road Trip Southwest, the ultimate guidebook by Amazon best-selling travel writer Robbie Who, featuring incredible locations, practical tips, and stress-saving hacks to ensure your road trip to the southwest of England is simply unforgettable. Written in a no-fuss style, this book has everything you need from itineraries to hotels and campsites to beaches. Each must-see location comes with a postcode and what 3 words reference to make your road trip easy and stress-free. Order Road Trip Southwest right now for only $16.99, including free UK delivery.
It's been a pretty good day actually. The weather has been on side. We're now at the campsite and we planned our tea, and all the plans went straight out the window the second we saw the wood-fired pizza van. We were staying at Tollgate Farm camping and caravan site, and on weekends and certain days throughout the summer there's this wood-fired pizza place. Hopefully it's going to be nice.
I know you didn't do it for that reason.
We are in pizza heaven, and we are calling it a good night at that. Lovely job. Today we've stopped first of all at Perranporth, and the weather is incredible again. We're going to go and explore the beach, grab a coffee, get this day started. So we've made the short drive from Perranporth beach, and we're now at a really iconic place, and a place that if you've been anywhere in the southwest you may have drank some of this stuff. So we're at Healy Cider, and they produce the Rattler brand of cider, which is pretty much everywhere down here. We're going to do a little tour of the cider factory. There's a cafe, you can take dogs. So yeah, nice way to spend a couple of hours hopefully. Cheers everyone. We finished our experience here at Healy's. Basically you pay for entry to get around the attraction and look around and stuff, and then additionally if you want a tour, if you're mad into cider and stuff, you pay extra for that and you get some exclusive places, you get given a full guided tour. But yeah, we're going to move on now. We're going to go to Saint Agnes. You can see some of the old tin mines which Cornwall is really famous for, so we're going to go there. Apparently there's some dramatic cliffs, a bit like the Bedruthan Steps, except there's some tin mines there, so it could make for a good photo. Oh man, only in Cornwall. Come on! So we've just had an utterly bizarre experience. So we drove up to Saint Agnes Head. The weather just changed from bright, clear, beautiful sunshine into just what I can only describe as thick mist. And the visibility was, I don't know, like 10 metres at best, 15 metres at a push. And just thick mist. Bizarre, very bizarre.
To try and get out of the mist, we drove to Newquay Bay in Hale, which unfortunately had exactly the same issue. We decided to give up and head back to the campsite for an early night.
Good morning, and the weather is finally playing ball. We've returned up to Saint Agnes Head, and specifically the Wheal Coates car park. And this is one of the landmarks of Cornwall, one of the old tin mines, which were in operation, I believe, in the early 1800s. I mean, if this isn't Cornwall at its very best, then I genuinely don't know what is. Absolutely stunning. And the weather's finally played ball, finally. And the good thing about this place, it's relatively accessible. You haven't got to walk a million miles like some of the other places I've been to. You would have noticed, Gem, nice and wet, and you didn't go down to the sea. So you're probably wondering what happened. Just as we were pulling up to the van, we were speaking to a guy, and she decided to roll in the biggest pile of fish this side of Newquay. But luckily, the new van, we've got an outdoor shower fitted for things like this, so that was the first time we put it to use, and it did a great job. So, thanks Gem, the shower works.
We made a brief stop at Newquay, which is the UK's surfing capital and a place we'd been many times before. The town centre has a great number of shops, restaurants and bars, but its best assets are the fabulous beaches including Fistral Beach, Lusty Glaze and Crantop Beach. Any Great Southwest road trips should really consider a stop at Newquay.
We're going to carry on now to Watergate Bay, which is probably 5-10 minutes from here. That's where we're staying tonight, in the Watergate Bay Hotel. So I can show you a bit of that, and hopefully we're going to go in the sea. That's the plan anyway.
We decided to treat ourselves to a night out at the van at the Watergate Bay Hotel. A perfect way to end our weekend and Jazzy's mini Cornwall trip. We got checked in and headed straight down to the wonderful beach.
It's absolutely beautiful though. Look at this. And there's some waves coming in. So we've just got back from the beach, had a nice little hour and a half down there, pissing around in the sea, and then we went for a quick pint at one of the beach bars. So we're just going to sort the dogs out. They're absolutely knackered, so they're going to stay in the room whilst me and Jazz have a couple of hours in the pool and the hot tub and all that sort of stuff that they've got at this hotel. Just nice to stay in a room just for a change out of the camper van. I'm loving the new van, I really am. But I will certainly take this place for the night.
I really enjoyed this leg of the trip, and I honestly lost count of the times I was gobsmacked by the amazing natural beauty that North Devon and North Cornwall had to offer. Having Jazz fly down for the weekend was also fantastic and could well be an option for you guys if you're limited on time. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait to share episode 3 with you, where I explore the rest of the incredible Cornish coast before moving into South Devon. I have a feeling it could well be the best episode of the whole series, but obviously I'll let you guys decide that. And quickly before you go, if you've enjoyed this video, can I ask a favour? Can you please hit the like button? It really helps other adventurers just like you find the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check me out on Instagram at Robbie Roams, and I'll catch you all in episode 3.